Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to Circle City. Hope you guys are having a good day. Today we're going to be heading into the Nether to build yet another farm. We are going to be building a Hoglin Farm today because, quite frankly, I get sad when I have to kill my animals for food. And the other reason is that our library bookshelves are still quite empty. So I would like to get another source for food and plus another source for leather so that I can get more books into our library so it doesn't look so, bookless. So before we head into the Nether, I think we should look at a couple things first so you can understand the process of how I come about designing my farms. So I'm going to hop over to my creative flat world really quick so that we can look at something that I have going on over there. Okay, so over in my creative flat, so I built this thing quite a while ago to help me determine where mobs can spawn and how big my farms need to be and, all that good stuff. So what I've got here, if I back up a little bit, is 1/8 of a sphere that shows you very clearly where mobs spawn and do not spawn. Basically referenced on this point right here. So basically it's just a visual representation of where mobs will spawn in the vicinity of yourself. Mobs will not spawn within 24 blocks of you. So every 5, I have it counted out with the birch here. So 5, 10, 15, 20, and then 24, and this is the starting. So I have my simulation distance set to the default, which is 4 chunks. So at that distance, mobs are going to spawn out to 44 blocks. So all the way out to here. And the reason I wanted to reference this is because I know that I want my farm to be 12 blocks wide. And so I wanted to make sure that my circle wasn't going to close in before then. But as you can see, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 will be very good with having a farm that's 12 blocks wide. But basically, it's a great little area to test a lot of things in. And just keep in mind that if your simulation distance is set higher, then you're going to get mob spawning at greater distances. Okay, so we're going to get out of here and then we're going to go into my creative copy so I can show you whereabouts we're going to be placing our farm. Alright, so we're in my creative copy of Circle City, and right now we are underneath the place where we want to build our farm. So I already have a pathway that I've dug at the ceiling of the Nether running this way, and so I wanted to take advantage of that path a little bit. Of course, the other good thing to know when you're trying to plan a farm is to look up that mob and just figure out how they work, how they spawn. So hoglins only spawn in a crimson forest in the Nether. So we knew that we needed a crimson forest biome in order to build our farm. So I originally was plotting to run my farm this way so that I can just come off my path. And so that's what all of this line is. It's me just plotting out where I can place the farm, or where I thought that I could place the farm. And then this was going to be round about the blocks that I was going to stand at in order to have them all spawn in. After I tested that out, and I was standing up here, I kept hearing mobs behind me. And it turns out that I have this little spot here where other mobs can spawn in. And that's the thing that we just don't want to have. We want to be able to have all of our mobs spawn in where we want them to spawn without having to worry about all of this. I mean, one option is that I could come in and then try to spawn proof all of this, but what a pain in the butt. So I thought about moving it further down this way, but then this way I have these ledges and all of this and all that. And anyway, so it turns out that that way just wasn't going to work out. So I flipped the whole thing around. And so this is going to be where we're going to be building our farm. But up on this ceiling, not at this level. This level is like 109. And we're going to be going up to 121, starting from the ceiling and coming down. So this is going to be the location where we'll be standing. And I have all of this over there, but we are far enough away from it for things not to spawn there, which is great. I mean, I see a little guy. I think I see a little guy over there, but I think that he spawned in when we were like flying around there. So I think we're good there. Yeah, so now that we have all of that figured out, it's time to head into the real survival world and build this farm. Hooray! And this is the part where I look at my supplies and try to determine if I actually have enough stuff to do this with. I think I'm pretty good, but I think I am going to bring a little bit more cobblestone with us just in case. So I'm just because I don't want to be running back and forth. Okay, so without further procrastination, let's go. So we're going to be using my desert mesa pathway. Oh, he scared me. I actually jumped a little bit. Oh, how silly. Anyway, from this we're going to go all the way down to a negative 270. So I got some running to do. So negative 270 on the Z. And this is where we're going to path over a little bit. So but before I get too crazy with that, I need to spawn proof this pathway a little bit first. So I'm gonna just probably go, I don't know. Oh, I think I was planning for 50 in either direction, but we could probably just go 45. Let's just see how long it's gonna take me. So the thing that I don't remember is I don't remember if lava logs blocks the way that water does. So I guess we'll find that out if we run into lava. Yeah, so if you're listening, you can hear where those mobs are spawning. We're right beside where those ledges were that I showed you earlier. So you can hear them spawning in over there. So this is 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, and 45. That should be adequate. So I need to go about the same distance this way. Because the reason I'm doing this is because we're not going to be going in this way that far. And so I don't want, you know, things spawning in our little corridor while we're waiting for other things to spawn. Because they will spawn out here. And the other reason is that if I need to run out of the farm to reset it for any reason, I don't want to be running into hoglins, you know, up here. So you can see we already have some piglins that are spawning in, but I have a gold helmet on, so we'll be safe from them. Okay, and if you didn't know what a hoglin is, that's a hoglin. So I am going to shoot him so he doesn't bother us. Ugh. Alright, get out. Alright, so I got all of that spawn proofed. Up and down, so we don't really have to worry about being waylaid by things spawning in this little corridor anymore. And we are going to cut ourselves a little hole here until we get to the X of -46. And we're going to be spawn proving this as we go. Well, aha, so slabs do stop it. That is good to know. Alright, block that up, because we don't want to deal with that. Alright, so I made it down to where I want to be, so we're going to be using 46 and 47 here to start going this way. I don't really need one there, but I'm just going to put one there anyway. So now we're going to be digging all the way down to -314, which will give us our 44 blocks that we need. 311, 12, 13. 14? 14? Oh, I went too far. I kind of felt like I did. But that's easy to fix. Alrighty. Okay, so got our initial setup in, so that should give us our 44 blocks that we need. And then the last 20 blocks where our mobs are actually going to spawn. And so let me get this guy out. Because I'm going to need some stuff. Helps if I put it where it'll open. Let's try that again. Alright, so right now I'm going to need some glass. And I decided to try out some bundles. Just for some random stuff that we're going to need. I haven't really used them before because I thought they were kind of weird. But at this point, I'm going to go ahead and pull these out. Alright, that should be good for now. Okay, so you can stay like that. I should have put you back in there, but that's alright. Okay, thinking. Alright, so from this pathway, we're just gonna dig, well, actually, okay. So let me go down to this block here. Block number 294 on RZ. And right here, I'm just gonna put those back, and I'm gonna put some glass here, and this is just gonna mark my parameters. Okay. So from up here, we're just gonna go 5 out in each direction. And at this point, it would be good for me to tell you what kind of farm we're making, because we are not going to make an automatic AFK farm. When initially I started plotting this out, that was kind of what I was planning on doing, but the more that I thought about it, the more I decided I don't really want to do that, because I hate, oh, that's not what I wanted to put there. I hate having farms that I just have to stand at, because I do not like coming in to play Minecraft and then end up not playing it at all. Because I'm like doing an AFK farm. It's just not my style. So, of course, this farm that we are making could easily be turned into an AFK farm. No doubt about it. It's just not where I want it to go. So we are going to be making it in a way that the hoglins will come to us. Oh, I keep doing this. And we will be able to kill them with our sword and make use of our looting. So, after I get this part dug out... I didn't bring any water with me in case I lavify myself. So I think I'm just going to go this way for now. And then if I hit lava, I can just run into her. It'll be great. Okay, so I got our spawning platforms in. I am gonna go ahead and just put glass along here for now. This isn't necessary. It's just something that I'm doing for visuals, so that I can see what's going on later on. And so now it's time to take advantage of the fact that hoglins are afraid of warp fungus. Nobody knows why. But this is, you know, kind of how you can get the hoglins to run where you would like them to run. So we are going to just, like every 5 here, throw down one of these mushrooms just along the edge here. Him there, them there, him there, and warp fungus do have to be planted on the warp nylium, or I think you can also plant them on the crimson, but I'm just gonna keep it the same. But you can't just like put it on netherrack itself. It doesn't work. So that part is working great. So now when we're all the way down there and the hoglins spawn in here, they will see the mushrooms and they will run toward the center here. Next thing that we need to do is stop the piglins from spawning in with the hoglins. And I had to do a little bit of research to figure out how to stop that from happening, because I wasn't quite, you know, sure how to do that. Because if we don't stop hoglins or piglins from spawning in with the hoglins, what happens is the piglins just stand down here and have nice conversations with each other. You know, they talk about the weather, they talk about their kids, they talk about the latest PTA meeting and what went down, and we just don't have time for that. We don't want to wait for piglins to finish their conversations before our hoglins come in and we can take advantage of them. So it turns out that piglins only spawn in light levels of 11 or below. So pretty much we just need to light this place up like a Christmas tree, and then they won't spawn in. So I'm going to use frog lights to take care of that problem, because I have a lot of frog lights. So even with this lighting, having frog lights on either side, it still isn't quite enough to make this bright enough. So we need to add another row of frog lights up here, because frog lights have a a light level of 15, so counting the block that they are on is 15, so 15 and then 14 in front of it, 13, 12, 11 here. So they could still spawn here. So we are going to put another row of frog lights on either side up the middle here. So let me get this marked for a minute. And then if we hit some bedrock, it's okay. Don't really necessarily need them to be right next to each other. So it's okay if we skip one every now and then. Okay, so that should take care of all of that. And this would be your basic setup for even if you were going to do an AFK farm. So at this point, I'm just gonna block this up. And you're like, oh my, that's gonna trap you in. Nah, it's okay, because from here, we're gonna dig down a little bit. So we are going to go down just another 2 blocks, because all we need for this farm is just far enough for them to fall and not be able to get out. Okay, so this should be good. So at this point, we're gonna lay down some trapdoors on the sides, because this makes it so that when they spawn in and they start running and they see this hole, they don't realize it's a hole because trapdoors are here, and they just fall into it because they think that the trapdoors are a solid block, and they are not. And this is the part where I think I'm forgetting something. So I do want to come down one more and spawn proof down here. Okay, so at this point, we're going to add in the rest of our warp fungus. And so I want this block and that block gone. I'm going to put the warp nylium there and mushroom here. So the radius that a hoglin will run from a warp fungus is 7 blocks. So we're going to go like every 7 blocks, and we're going to put these in on either side. And probably one side is probably adequate, but I'm just going to do it on both sides just for, you know, symmetry, whatever. Okay, so that's our setup for the spawning area, and we're just going to continue this pathway down, and we're going to keep adding mushrooms every 7 blocks. And very important, we are going to block, and very important, we are going to block this up for now, because as we get further down, they are going to start spawning in, and they will come after us if we are not careful. And we've had our first hoglin spawn in, so he's stuck in there right now, so we're safe to keep doing this. So I'm just trying to figure out my inventory real quick. I think that's our last warp mushroom that we want to put down. Because we don't want to take them all the way up to the kill zone, or else they'll just run away from us. That won't be any fun at all. Okay, 1, 2. So with this part, we need to give ourselves a little way to get down here. So let me throw those in there. That'll be a stair. So I decided to use some random stairs. Ugh. Oh, this is so weird using these. Just to get them out. They were just like extra stairs that I had left over after a project, so I just kind of want to use those up so I don't have to, you know, fiddle with them. So that's why all my stairs are going to be a little bit random. So I got that. So yes, come on. Please get out of my way. You are just going to be nothing but problems here. So, okay, this spot and this spot. Get in there. So I want to put a blockade here. I want to put some glass up here. And I'm going to go ahead and do that way. Now we just need to go under here to put in our collection chest. How do I want to get down there? So under these 6 blocks is where we're going to put our collection chest, if I can remember where I put it. There we are. So I want this guy to go not there. I want you to go, well, I'm just gonna keep misplacing them, I guess. Let me get these 2 down. I want you to go right like that. There we go. Okay, so then I can put my hopper on top of that, and then we'll just funnel these guys into each other. And I can put my last chest on there, and we should be good to go. Let me put a little torch action in there just for happiness. So the only other thing that I wanted to do before I get this thing going is just to clear out some of these side blocks so that we can look down and see the farm better. So I am going to take some time and do that, and when I get it how I like it, we will open this farm up and let it go wild. Okay, so I got everything set up the way I wanted to. I did have one piglin spawn in when I was just cleaning stuff up, so I think what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna run down here real quick. Okay, that's weird. Don't know, he was probably hanging out in the hallway for a while. I'm hoping, yeah, when I was down cleaning stuff up. Okay, so we're good there, so let me run down this way. And we'll get all of that stuff to despawn. And then we're gonna come up this way. And hopefully all of that will be gone. And then I must say that my only fear is that my killing zone here might not be great, because I think they have a pretty good reach. So I might be modifying this. Let me put this stuff up because that's just irritating me to look at it. So we're just gonna come down here and release them. And I hope this goes well. Alright, so let's come back down to our killing zone. And so hopefully they'll make their way up here. So I never said that this was like super duper adequate. But like sometimes what happens is a pig will be trying to run that way and it'll block up the other pig, but eventually they'll turn around and they'll come down. So let's give it a minute. If they don't start to come down, then I'll run back and come back up again. Here comes one. Okay, that was the other part of my farm that I was hoping would work, that they would get to where they could see me and then they would run down. So let's see if he can hit me. Okay, he can't, so we're good. All right. So nothing's coming down there. I put a little ladder in here just so we can kind of go up and watch if we want to. And then I was hoping also that this would give me line of sight, because when they see you, they're supposed to just come at you. But apparently that's not really working. So yeah, so my other idea on how to fix this, which unfortunately I didn't have enough room for, was instead of pulling this all straight, is to every time you put a mushroom, like after those 6 blocks, like drop them down again. And that would have worked out a lot better, because then they would only go, you know, one way as opposed to this back and forth nonsense that we are getting. But like I said, I didn't really have enough room underneath me to drop them so many times. That would have been great. I'm also trying to listen for if I hear any mobs like around me at different directions. Oh, here comes another one. And then also we're able to collect the XP because I made these half slabs here, so I think that's the reason why they're still able to come through, which is very good. Yeah. The good news is when they do make it all the way down here is that they do stop. I am very glad that they cannot hit me through that. Oh yes, the flaw in the system is that I cannot stop the babies from coming through. I do not know how to correct that. I tried using fence gates, like putting 2 fence gates here and having them open, but they still just ran like right through that. So when there's babies that come through, they're just gonna come right up through. The good news is that the babies don't really attack you. The bad news is that they do eventually grow up, so it's best to, like, when they come through, try to kill them before they grow up, but hopefully they will grow up when they are down there running around. And so, you know, now that I get all these babies in here, when I was testing this, I literally had to wait, like, oh gosh, probably like 45 minutes to an hour to get a baby to spawn in to see if it would still come through the fence gates. So annoying. But, oh, hi, Sam. So, and this is where I start to get worried because I'm not seeing any more, like, spawn in. I wish it was working a little bit better right now. Which makes me wonder if I've missed something. Or if I'm just getting, random slow spawn rates right now. So, yeah. So this is probably going to be the last one that I'll let come up. But it is kind of addicting when you're waiting and then you see like 4 more come in and whatever. So I'm probably going to wait for this one to come in and we'll call it a day. Because it's about time to feed Sam and he has already been down here pestering me. Well, I wouldn't say pestering me, just reminding me. That it is time for him to be fed. Come on, piggy. Come on, piggy. Come on. Oh, I wish that there was a way that I can get them to aggro me without it being dangerous. Yeah, so I hear them over here. So I think that's what's might be upsetting. I might not be... See, but that comes down. I might not be I might not be quite far enough away from that area yet. So maybe like when I round this corner, they spawn in there. So I might have to reroute how we get in here yet one more time. So that's irritating, but that's definitely doable so that we don't come anywhere close to that area where they spawn in. I think that's what's doing me in right now, unfortunately. Because I think that this is still, even though I thought it was, I think it's still just not quite far enough away. So, yeah. So let me look at my time real quick. So my time is at like 25 minutes pretty much exactly. So right now we're sitting at 64 pork and sorry, like a stack, and 33 pork and then 30 leather. Yeah, but I think that's going to do it for today. So I'll kind of look into it and see if there's areas that I missed where things are spawning. Like I said, I probably will repath the entrance in so that I'm not hitting that corner where things can spawn on those platforms. And then I can play around with the mushrooms a little bit more. But until then, like I said, I think it's okay. In 25 minutes, you know, I got a pretty good amount of stuff to hold me over for a bit. I mean, I was kind of hoping for a little bit better than that, but you know, there's always room for improvement, always room to make changes, so I'll just keep it as it is until I come up with something better. And so I just want to thank you guys for stopping by. Thanks for hanging out with me, and I will see you guys in the next episode. Bye bye. Well, hey everyone, just a quick update to let you know that I have been able to increase the spawn rate of our hoglins that are coming in, because I went back into my creative copy and checked the area very thoroughly, and I found like an additional 4 places where mobs could spawn. So it took me a bit to muster up my courage, but I went ahead and dug out different pathways and spawn-proofed the areas that were causing the issue. And so glad to say that our spawn rates are acting now as they should. So super duper happy about that. I did play around with the mushrooms a little bit more, but I really couldn't figure out a way to get them positioned to where the pigs or hoglins will run down the hall a little bit faster. So I think I'm just going to have to deal with that nonsense since I don't have the space to make steps to drop them down. But all in all, I think it's good. So, let's see. Oh, that guy just spawned right in front of us. That's weird. But anyway, I've been here for... Well, yeah, see how fast, and we don't have to sit around and wait for like 10 hours to see if anything comes in. They just come right in. It's great. So let me get this guy since he's coming down. Oh. Get all the ones that are coming down. Alright, so I've been down here for about like 15 minutes. And so out of 15 minutes, I got more than I had yesterday in our 25-minute test. So much, much better rates. So I'm very happy with that, and I think I will leave it as it is and not mess around with it anymore. So thanks for hanging in there, guys.